Good morning, news junkies and chaos connoisseurs. It's Friday, May 2nd, and the world is still on fire. But at least today, we've got hope, scandal, and a kangaroo with better instincts than half of Congress. We've got coast-to-coast protests, fact-check so sharp they could pierce a red hat, and a DOJ nominee who apparently can't Google a Nazi. Oh, and we'll wrap it all up with a free good bounce from Alabama's new marsupial menace. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's time to scream into the headlines. In 3, 2, 1, let's dive in. 5501 movement. The streets are speaking. Across all 50 states yesterday, something powerful happened. Americans stood up, and said, "Not today, authoritarianism." The 50501 movement, born from a Reddit post and fueled by pure grassroots rage, turned into over 1,000 coordinated protests nationwide. Their target? Donald Trump's Project 2025 agenda and what they're calling a full-scale war on working people. From New York to LA, streets were packed with people demanding immigrant protections, labor rights, and an end to billionaire-fueled politics. In Houston, protesters swarmed City Hall to condemn deportation crackdowns. In New Orleans, nurses walked out in protest of Trump's new labor rules. This isn't just resistance, it's resilience. A spontaneous, decentralized uprising of everyday Americans refusing to be bulldozed by authoritarian policy and corporate control. Because sometimes hope doesn't come from a headline. It comes from a handmade sign and a crowd that won't be silenced. Trump's commencement speech, fact-checked and fabulous. President Trump took the stage at the University of Alabama, turning a commencement into a campaign-style spectacle. While he basked in the applause, not everyone was clapping, especially when the facts didn't quite align with the fanfare. Claim, no president has done more for the military than I have. Reality check, while Trump did increase defense spending, many initiatives like the F-35 program were already underway before his tenure. Moreover, his strained relationship with military leaders and controversial decisions such as the handling of the Syria withdrawal have drawn criticism from defense experts. Claim, the economy is the strongest it's ever been. Reality check, recent reports indicate a 0.3 contraction in GDP from Q1 2025, marking the first economic shrinkage in years. Factors include trade deficit exacerbated by tariff policies and decreased consumer spending. Next claim, we've achieved energy independence. Reality check, while domestic energy production increased during his first term, the U.S. still imported oil. Additionally, market fluctuations and global events continue to impact energy prices and availability. Next claim, no politician in history has been treated worse. Reality check, this hyperbolic statement overlooks numerous historical figures who faced significant adversity, including Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War and civil rights leaders who endured imprisonment and violence. Claim, we've secured the border like never before. Reality check, while border security measures were intensified, including the construction of new barriers, illegal crossings and humanitarian concerns at the border remained pressing issues throughout his administration. In summary, while the speech was high on rhetoric, it was light on verifiable facts. As always, it's essential to separate the applause lines from the actual accomplishments. Trump's DOJ nominee faces scrutiny over ties to antisemitic rioter. President Trump's nominee for U.S. Attorney in D.C., Ed Martin, is under fire for his association with Timothy Hale Kusalini, a convicted January 6 rioter known for his anti-Semitic view. Martin previously praised Hale as an extraordinary leader and awarded him at a Trump golf club event. However, during his Senate confirmation, Martin claimed ignorance of Hale's extremist beliefs. NPR's investigation reveals that Martin had multiple interactions with Hale, including podcast interviews where they discussed controversial topics. Despite being informed by NPR about Hale's anti-Semitic statements, Martin continued to publicly support him. Senate Democrats are now questioning Martin's credibility and suitability for the role, citing discrepancies between his testimony and documented evidence. The controversy raises concerns about the vetting process for key judicial appointments and the administration's stance on extremist affiliations. Global quick hits. Chaos with a passport. First off, EU to Russia. We're not done yet. The European Union is prepping sanctions number 17 against Russia because apparently Putin still hasn't read the room. Spoiler, it's frosty. Next up, China flirts with trade talks. China just swiped right on trade negotiations with the U.S. and Wall Street blushed. Stocks are up, tensions are down for now. And then there's oil prices say, surprise! Thanks to that diplomatic flirtation, oil prices ticked up. Brent crude is climbing again because your gas tank needed one more reason to cry. Harley-Davidson hits the brakes. Harley-Davidson has pulled its full-year forecast over global tariff drama. So if your midlife crisis involved a motorcycle, maybe hold off. Xbox just got more expensive. Microsoft is hiking Xbox prices worldwide, blaming development costs and global market challenges. Translation: your fun costs more now, and no one's happy about it. And now for your tell me something good moment. Because yes, the world's a mess, but sometimes a kangaroo escapes in Alabama and reminds us that life is still a bizarre, beautiful circus. Meet Sheila. She's a 3-year-old kangaroo who decided to bounce straight out of captivity and onto I-85 like she had errands to run. Two cars collided trying to dodge her because apparently Watch for Wildlife now includes marsupials in the South. Thankfully, Sheila was safely wrangled by authorities and her very chill-sounding owner, Patrick Starr. Yes, like the SpongeBob character. After a brief chase and a tranquilizer nap, she is now back home and recovering at Auburn University's vet clinic. No injuries, just a flare of the dramatic. So if your week's been a wreck, just remember, somewhere in Alabama, a kangaroo said, "Not today, enclosure," and lived to tell the tale. And honestly, that's the kind of chaotic joy we love around here. And that's your news for today, served hot, messy, and just chaotic enough to keep things interesting. We marched with 50501 movement, dragged some presidential fiction through the fact checker, side-eyed a DOJ nominee who can't tell the difference between a leader and a white supremacist, and took a global spin through sanctions, tariffs, and the rising cost of fun. And just when the world felt too bleak, bam, a kangaroo in Alabama said, "I got this." Hope restored. If you loved the sass and learned a thing, or just needed a news recap that doesn't insult your intelligence, like, follow, and subscribe. And for the full, uncensored version, head over to YouTube. You know the vibe. I'll see you there. See you tomorrow!